What's up, everybody? We're going to check out the Star Wars Andor trailer because I watched it the other day and I was seeing some little subtle messages in there. So I want to react and review to this. Let's check out that trailer right now.
They're so proud of themselves, so fat and satisfied.
They're everywhere. They're watching me now.
Soon enough, these days will end. There will be no rules going forward.
People are standing up. That's what a reckoning sounds like.
Alright, so I hope you guys got your Bible glasses on. I heard a lot of little key phrases in there. So let's look at these slides. So first of all, I noticed that, there's this scene of a party and you see a lady drinking and this lady's happy, and it made me think of Matthew 24:37 through 38 that says, "But as in the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking and marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark." So there's this scene being painted of everything's happy and everything's going good and we're just eating and drinking and marrying and having a good old time. But then you notice all the civilizations around the world are looking up into the sky and they see this thing coming and they're looking at it with fear in their eyes. Matthew 24:42 through 44 says, "Watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord doth come. Therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not, the Son of Man cometh." So it looks like these people are being taken off guard. They're seeing something coming. They're looking up in fear. Then it shows what's coming. These three ships, I think that's interesting that it's three, just like the three angels of Revelation. If you don't know about the three angels' messages, you can look it up. It's from Revelation 14:6 through 13, and that whole section of the Bible is called the proclamations or the messages of the three angels. Now, the three angels are three messengers that have a message for humanity, and they are preparing the world for the second coming. When you look this up, what are the three angels' messages? You see that the first angel's message is to give glory to God. It says that it calls for the restoration of true worship of God as creator because judgment hour has arrived. Remember that, judgment hour has arrived. Then the second angel's message says that it warns against all humanity originated forms of worship. So get away from the worship of Babylon. Come out of her. Come back to the true worship. And then it says in the third angel's message the third angel's message proclaims that God's solemn warning against worshiping the beast and his image. So these are three angels that come to earth just before the second coming, preparing humanity to be ready for that second coming. I just think that's interesting that there's three ships that come. Then it shows this all pure white heavenly council, and the guy in the middle is like this god figure with a halo behind his head, and these are the bad guys. I noticed on his chest he's got these blue little buttons because God's law is blue, so he's dressed in all white. He's got the symbol of the law on his chest, on his heart, because the law is to be in our heart. Then here's what they say when they're showing these people. Here's what the good guys, the rebels, are saying about this heavenly host that's coming to earth.
They're so proud of themselves, so fat and satisfied.
So they're mocking them. They're saying, look how proud they are. This is exactly how Satan would describe God. Like, oh, he's so proud and all he wants is worship and all these things. And then listen to what these people say.
They're everywhere. They're watching me now.
They're everywhere. They're watching me now. Notice her smile went from a smile at the party to a face of seriousness or fear. Proverbs 15:3, as well as many other verses, talks about how God sees everything. The eyes of the Lord are in every place, keeping watch on the evil and the good. This is showing you the stage. It's showing you how the wicked are going to react to the second coming of the Lord. But in this movie, it's showing these people who are looking up in fear as being the good guys. The rebels are the good guys. Then notice it shows them, looking in fear at these military soldiers who are dressed in all white. This is God's angelic armies who are here to bring about judgment, and they're hiding, just like the Bible talks about.
Soon enough, these days will end.
So notice at this part, he actually said, soon enough, these days will end. He's literally telling you, these are the last days. Soon enough, these days will end. And then this lady says, people are standing up. This is what it's talking about in Revelation. The people are going to stand up. They're going to fight against the coming of Christ. The people are going to cause an uprising.
There will be no rules going forward.
Then we hear someone saying there will be no rules from this point on. This makes me think of Matthew 7:23. And then I will declare to them, I never knew you. Depart from me, you who practice lawlessness. See, it's the wicked who are the ones that want to get rid of the rules. God's rules are perfect, holy, and just. They are for our own good, and if we keep them, then they benefit us and they benefit humanity. Love your neighbor. Don't steal from them. Don't envy their things. Don't lie to them. All these are good, beneficial things, but the spirit of Antichrist is the spirit of the lawless one. And that's what we keep seeing over and over in all these movies. I just saw another trailer where it was talking about breaking the rules. Doctor Strange, you break the rules and become the hero. Over and over and over. Free Guy, break the rules. These are the cool guys. Over and over. Watch our channel. You'll see that that's one of Disney's favorite things to promote. Watch the Disney Deception video. It's like 7 minutes long, and you'll see cartoon after cartoon saying break the rules and follow your heart. And then here we see one of the rebels prepared to fight these angelic hosts. Now look what he's got. He's got these primitive, inferior weapons like a club versus these soldiers in all white that have laser pistols. Who do you think's going to win? Of course, the people in all white. But in this movie, they're probably going to make the inferior rebels be the winners, So it's making me think of Revelation all the way through. Revelation 6:15 through 17 says, and the kings of the earth, the great men, the rich men, the commanders, the mighty men, every slave, every free man, hid themselves in the caves. This is talking about everybody in the earth, the lost people who do not want to see the coming of the Lord. They fear the coming of the Lord. It says that they hid themselves in the caves and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him who sits on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath has come, and who is able to stand? I like how it calls him the Lamb. A lamb is a gentle creature, and yet they're terrified of this Lamb who's coming because they know that they are sinners, they are wicked, and that his judgment is righteous and true, and they cannot stand in the holy presence of the Lamb. Then it goes on, or in Revelation 17:14, it says, these will make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb will overcome them. For he is the Lord of lords and King of kings, and those who are with him are called chosen and faithful. Revelation 20:8 through 9 talks about how Satan is going to unite the militaries of the world to fight against the coming of the Lord. And it says, Satan will go out to deceive the nations which are in the four corners of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, whose number is as the sand of the sea. They went up on the breadth of the earth and surrounded the camp of the saints and the beloved city, and fire came down from God out of heaven and devoured them. This is describing a time when Satan is going to deceive the whole world into a battle against the second coming of Christ. And as they are compassing the city, the New Jerusalem has already come down, and the wicked are raised. It says after the 1,000 years is finished, the rest of the dead live again. That's the wicked who are raised to their judgment. And instead of confessing or repenting, they side with Satan because they've been deceived, and they try to take over the city by force, and Christ must destroy them in order to protect us, the righteous. And so it says fire comes down from God out of heaven and devours them. This is what I'm seeing. In this trailer, I'm seeing it perfectly played out, except they're making the rebels, the lawless ones, the good guys, and the ones who are in all white, the military in all white who are coming to earth, the villains. And then listen to what this lady says at the end.
That's what a reckoning sounds like.
That's what a reckoning sounds like. Interesting word there. Let's look up what the word reckoning means. The definition says the settlement of accounts as between two companies, a statement of an amount due, or a judgment. So this reckoning, what she's saying, that's what a reckoning sounds like. She's saying that's what the judgment sounds like. They're coming. The military in all white and this heavenly council are coming with judgment. They're coming to collect. They're coming to make a settlement. And there's even something called the day of reckoning, which means the time when one is called to account for one's actions, to pay one's debts, or to fulfill one's promise or obligations. That's exactly what Christ is going to do. When he comes, we're all going to be held accountable for our actions. He's coming to fulfill the promise that he made. And then the title of this is called Star Wars Andor. I had a hard time figuring out what this was. I looked it up. Who is Andor? Is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? I'm not exactly sure. I'm pretty sure he's a good guy in the movie anyway. But I looked up what does this word Andor mean, and oddly enough, it's like this Roman Catholic float that they carry around that has Jesus in it, but it can also mean out or demanding that someone leave. So I'm not really sure what angle to come at this with, but we do see a lot of times in these Gnostic movies that the main character is a Christ-like character. Like look at Wreck-It Ralph, where Felix was a carpenter, the good guy carpenter who lives in the clouds of Niceland. But in the end of the story, he actually sides with Ralph, who's the Satan character, and they come together and fight against King Candy. So even if the good guy character has these Christ representations, it's always this twisted into this antichrist type character. So that's what I'm seeing here. If you want to check out more of our breakdowns on Star Wars, we actually have a video that's almost 30 minutes long, and it will blow your mind. So check that video out. You can click that right here, and we'll see you next time on LED. God bless you guys.